Book of Hanok, Chapter 60, a fragment of the Book of Noah. In the year 500, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month, in the life of Hanok, in that parable I saw how a mighty quaking made the Shamayim of Shamayim to quake, and the host of the Most High and the messengers, 1,000 thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000, were disturbed with a great unrest. And the head of days sat on the throne of his esteem, and the messengers and the righteous stood around him. And a great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me, and my loins gave way, and my kidneys melted, and I fell upon my face. And Michael sent another messenger from among the Qodeshim, and he raised me up. And when he had raised me up, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the look of this host, and the commotion and the quaking of the Shamayim. And Michael said to me, "Why are you disturbed with such a vision? Until this day lasted the day of his compassion, and he has shown favour and patience towards those who dwell on the earth. And when the day and the power and the punishment and the judgment come, which Yushua of hosts has prepared for those who do not worship the righteous law, and for those who deny the righteous right ruling, and for those who take his name in vain, who bring his name to nothing, that day is prepared. For the elect a covenant, but for sinners a judgment. When the punishment of Yushua of hosts shall rest upon them, it shall rest in order that the punishment of Yushua of hosts may not come in vain, and it shall slay the children with their mothers, and the children with their fathers. Afterward the judgment shall take place according to his compassion and his patience. And on that day were two monsters parted, a female monster named Leviathan, to dwell in the abysses of the ocean over the fountains of the waters. And the male is named Behemoth, who occupied with his breast a waste wilderness named Dawidian, on the east of the garden, where the elect and righteous dwell, where my grandfather was taken up, the 7th from Adam, the first man whom Yushua of hosts created. And I pleaded with the other messenger that he should show me the might of those monsters, how they were parted on one day and cast, the one into the abysses of the sea, and the other unto the dry land of the wilderness. And he said to me, "You, son of man, in this do you seek to know what is hidden?" And the other messenger who went with me and showed me what was hidden, told me what is first and last in the Shamayim in the height, and beneath the earth in the depth, and at the ends of the Shamayim, and on the foundation of the Shamayim, and the chambers of the winds, and how the winds are divided, and how they are weighed, and the portals of the winds are reckoned, each according to the power of the wind, and the power of the lights of the moon, and according to the power that is fitting, and the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how all the divisions are divided, and the thunders according to the places where they fall, and all the divisions that are made among the lightnings, that it may lighten, and their host, that they may at once obey. For the thunder has places of rest assigned, while it is waiting for its peal, and the thunder and lightning are inseparable, and although not one and undivided, they both go together through the Spirit, and do not separate. For when the lightning lightens, the thunder utters its voice, and the Spirit enforces a pause during the peal, and divides equally between them, for the treasury of their peals is like the sand, and each one of them, as it peals, is held in with a bridle, and turned back by the power of the Spirit, and pushed forward according to the many quarters of the earth. And the spirit of the sea is masculine and strong, and according to the might of his strength he draws it back with the rain. And in the same way it is driven forward and disperses amid all the mountains of the earth. And the spirit of the hoarfrost is his own messenger, and the spirit of the hail is a good messenger. And the spirit of the snow has forsaken his chambers on account of his strength. There is a special spirit therein, and that which ascends from it is like smoke, and its name is frost. And the spirit of the mist is not united with them in their chambers, but it has a special chamber, for its course is magnificent, both in light and in darkness, and in winter and in summer, and in its chambers is a messenger. And the spirit of the Jew has its dwelling at the ends of the Shamayim, and is connected with the chambers of the rain, and its course is in winter and summer, and its clouds and the clouds of the mist are connected, and the one gives to the other. And when the spirit of the rain goes forth from its chamber, the messengers come and open the chamber and lead it out. And when it is diffused over the whole earth, it unites with the water on the earth. And whenever it unites with the water on the earth, and then unfortunately the rest of that is missing. For the waters are for those who dwell on the earth, for they are nourishment for the earth from the Most High, who is in the Shamayim. Therefore there is a measure for the rain, and the messengers take it in charge. And these I saw towards the garden of the righteous. And the messenger of peace, who was with me, said to me, These two monsters prepared, conformable to the greatness of Elohim, shall feed. And again, unfortunately, the rest is missing. Chapter 61. And I saw in those days how long cords were given to those messengers, and they took to their wings and flew, and they went towards the north. And I asked the messenger, saying unto him, Why have they taken these cords and gone off? And he said to me, They have gone to measure. And the messenger who went with me said to me, These shall bring the measures of the righteous, and the ropes of the righteous to the righteous, that they may support themselves on the name of Yahuwah of hosts forever and ever. The elect shall begin to dwell with the elect, and those are the measures which shall be given to belief, and which shall strengthen righteousness. And these measures shall reveal all the secrets of the depths of the earth, and those who have been destroyed by the desert, and those who have been devoured by the beasts, and those who have been devoured by the fish of the sea, that they may return and support themselves on the day of the elect one. For none shall be destroyed before Yahuwah of hosts, and none can be destroyed. And all who dwell above in the Shamayim received a command and power, and one voice and one light like fire. And the first words, that one they barach, and exalted and lifted up with wisdom, and they were wise in utterance and in the spirit of high. And Yahuwah of hosts placed the elect one on the throne of esteem, and he shall judge all the works of the Qodesh above in the Shamayim, and in the balance shall their deeds be weighed. And when he shall lift up his face to judge their secret ways according to the word of the name of Yahuwah of hosts, and their path according to the way of the righteous judgment of Yahuwah of hosts, then shall they all with one voice speak and barach and esteem and exalt and kadosh the name of Yahuwah of hosts. And he will summon all the hosts of the Shamayim, and all the Qodeshim above, and the host of Elohim, the cherubim, the seraphim, the ophanim, and all the messengers of power, and all the messengers of principalities, and the elect one, and the other powers on the earth and over the water, on that day shall raise one voice, and barak, and esteem, and exalt in the spirit of belief, and in the spirit of wisdom, and in the spirit of patience, and in the spirit of favour, and in the spirit of judgment and of peace, and in the spirit of goodness, and shall all say with one voice, Barak is he, and may the name of Yahuwah of hosts be Baruch forever and ever. All who do not sleep in the Shamayim above shall Barak him, bless him. All the Qodeshim who are in the Shamayim shall Barak him, and all the elect who dwell in the garden of high, and every spirit of light who is able to Barak and esteem and exalt and kadosh your Barak name, and all flesh shall beyond measure esteem and Barak your name forever and ever. For great is the favour of Yahuwah of hosts, and he is patient, and all his works, and all that he has created, he has revealed to the righteous and elect in the name of Yahuwah of hosts. Chapter 62. And thus Yahuwah commanded the sovereigns and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, and said, Open your eyes and lift up your horns, if you are able to recognize the elect one. And Yahuwah of hosts seated him on the throne of his esteem, and the spirit of righteousness was poured out upon him, and the word of his mouth slays all the sinners, and all the unrighteous are destroyed from before his face. And there shall stand up in that day all the sovereigns and the mighty and the exalted, and those who hold the earth, and they shall see and recognize how he sits on the throne of his esteem, and righteousness is rightly ruled before him, and no lying word is spoken before him. Then pain shall come upon them, as on a woman in travail when her child enters the mouth of the womb, and she has pain in bringing forth. And one portion of them shall look on the other, and they shall be terrified, and they shall be sad-faced, and pain shall seize them, when they see the bane of Adam sitting on the throne of his esteem, and the sovereigns, and the mighty, and all who possess the earth, shall barak, and esteem, and exalt him, who rules over all, who was hidden. For from the beginning the bane of Adam was hidden, and the Most High preserved him in the presence of his might, and revealed him to the elect. And the congregation of the elect and Qodesh shall be shown, and all the elect shall stand before him on that day. And all the sovereigns and the mighty and the exalted, and those who rule over the earth shall fall down before him on their faces, and worship and place their hope upon the bane of Adam, and petition him and make supplication for compassion at his hand. Nevertheless, the Adon of hosts will so press them that they shall hastily go forth from his presence, and their faces shall be filled with shame, and the darkness grow deeper on their faces. And he will deliver them to the messengers for punishment, to execute vengeance on them, because they have oppressed his children and his elect. And they shall be a spectacle for the righteous and for his elect. They shall rejoice over them, because the wrath of Yahuwah of hosts rested upon them, and his sword is drunk with their blood. And the righteous and elect shall be saved on that day, and they shall never thereafter see the face of the sinners and unrighteous. And Yahuwah of hosts will abide over them, and with the bane of Adam they shall eat and lie down and rise up forever and ever. And the righteous and elect shall have risen from the earth, and ceased to be sad-faced, and they shall have been clothed with garments of esteem, and these shall be the garments of high from Yahuwah of hosts. And your garments shall not grow old, nor your esteem pass away before Yahuwah of hosts. Chapter 63. In those days the mighty and the sovereigns who possess the earth shall beg to grant them a little relief from his messengers of punishment, to whom they were delivered, that they might fall down and worship before Yahuwah of hosts, and confess their sins before him. And they shall barak and esteem Yahuwah of hosts, and say, Barak is Yahuwah of hosts, and Yahuwah of sovereigns, and Yahuwah of the mighty, and Yahuwah of the rich, and Yahuwah of esteem, and Yahuwah of wisdom. I'd like to say the rich means the people of greatness with power, and splendid in every secret matter is your power from generation to generation, and your esteem forever and ever. Deep are all your secrets and innumerable, and your righteousness is beyond reckoning. We have now learned that we should esteem and barak and bless Yahuwah of sovereigns, and him who is sovereign over all sovereigns. And they shall say, Oh, that we had rest to esteem and give thanks and confess our belief before his esteem. And now we long for a little rest, but do not find it. We follow hard upon and do not obtain, and light has vanished from before us, and darkness is our dwelling place forever and ever. For we have not believed before him, nor esteemed the name of Yahuwah of hosts, but our hope was in the scepter, and our reign, and in our esteem. And in the day of our suffering and tribulation he does not save us, and we find no relief for confession that our Adon is true in all his works, and in his right rulings, and his justice, and his right rulings have no respect of persons. And we pass away from before his face on account of our works, and all our sins are reckoned up in righteousness. Now they shall say unto themselves, Our beings are full of unrighteous gain, but it does not prevent us from descending from the midst thereof into the burden of Gehinnom. And after that their faces shall be filled with darkness and shame before the bane of Adam, and they shall be driven from his presence, and the sword shall abide before his face in their midst. Thus spoke Yahuwah of hosts. This is the statute and judgment with respect to the mighty, and the sovereigns, and the exalted, and those who possess the earth before Yahuwah of hosts. Chapter 64. And other forms I saw hidden in that place. I heard the voice of the messenger saying, These are the messengers who descended to the earth, and revealed what was hidden to the children of men, and seduced the children of men into committing sin. The Nephilim. Chapter 65. And in those days Noah saw the earth, that it had sunk down, and its destruction was near. And he arose from there, and went to the ends of the earth, and cried aloud to his grandfather Hanok. And Noah said 3 times with an embittered voice, Hear me, hear me, hear me. And I said to him, Tell me what it is that is falling out on the earth, that the earth is in such evil plight and shaken, if perhaps I shall perish with it. And after that there was a great commotion on the earth, and a voice was heard from the Shamayim, and I fell on my face. And Hanok, my grandfather, came and stood by me, and said to me, Why have you cried unto me with a bitter cry and weeping? And a command has gone forth from the presence of Yahuwah concerning those who dwell on the earth, that their ruin is accomplished, because they have learned all the secrets of the messengers, and all the violence of the adversaries, and all their powers, the most secret ones, and all the power of those who practice sorcery, and the power of witchcraft, and the power of those who make molten images for the whole earth, and how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metal originates in the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first. It is a fountain that produces them, and a messenger stands therein, and that messenger is the head. And after that, my grandfather Hanok took hold of me by my hand and raised me up and said to me, Go, for I have asked Yahuwah of hosts regarding this commotion on the earth. And he said to me, Because of their unrighteousness, their judgment has been determined upon, and shall not be withheld by me forever, because of the sorceries, that includes pharmaceuticals, along with a lot of other things, which they have searched out and learned. The earth and those who dwell upon it shall be destroyed, and these, they have no place of repentance forever, because they have shown them what was hidden, and they are the condemned. But as for you, my son, Yahuwah of hosts knows that you are pure and guiltless of this reproach concerning the secrets, and he has destined your name to be among the Qodesh, and will preserve you amongst those who dwell on the earth, and has destined your righteous seed both for sovereignty and for great honours, and from your seed shall proceed the fountain of the righteous and Qodesh without number forever. Chapter 66. And after that he showed me the messengers of punishment, who are prepared to come and let loose all the powers of the waters which are beneath in the earth, in order to bring judgment and destruction on all who dwell on the earth. And Yahuwah of hosts gave command to the messengers who were going forth, and they should not cause the waters to rise, but should hold them in check, for those messengers were over the powers of the waters. And I went away from the presence of Hanok. Chapter 67. And in those days the word of Elohim came unto me, and he said to me, Noah, your lot has come up before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprightness. And now the messengers are making a wooden object, and when they have completed that task, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it. And there shall come forth from it the seed of life, and a change shall come, so that the earth will not remain without inhabitant. And I will establish your seed before me forever and ever. I will spread abroad those who dwell with you. It shall not be unfruitful on the face of the earth. And it shall be Baruch and multiply on the earth in the name of Yahuwah. And he will imprison those messengers who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley which my grandfather Hanok had formerly shown to me in the west, among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw the valley in which there was a great earthquake and a convulsion of the waters. And when all this took place, from that fiery molten metal and from the earthquake in that place, there was produced a smell of sulphur, and it was connected with those waters. And that valley of the messengers who had led astray burned beneath that land. And through its valleys proceed streams of fire, where these messengers are punished, who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters shall in those days serve for the sovereigns, and the mighty, and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now their spirit is full of lust, that they must be punished in their body, for they have denied Yahuwah of hosts, and see their punishment daily, and yet do not believe in his name. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies becomes severe, a corresponding change shall take place in their spirit forever and ever. For before Yahuwah of hosts none shall utter an idle word, for the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body, and deny the Ru'ach of Yahuwah. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days, for when those messengers are punished in these water springs shall change their temperature, and when the messengers ascend, this water of the springs shall change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, this judgment with which the messengers are judged is a witness for the sovereigns and the mighty who possess the earth, because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the sovereigns and the lust of their body. Therefore they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. Chapter 68. And after that my grandfather Hanok gave me the teaching of all the secrets in the book in the parables which had been given to him, and he put them together for me in the words of the book of the parables. And on that day Michael answered Raphael and said, the power of the Spirit transports and makes me tremble because of the severity of the judgment of the secrets, the judgment of the messengers. Who can endure the severe judgment which has been executed, and before which they melt away? And Michael answered again and said to Raphael, who is he whose heart is not softened concerning it, and whose kidneys are not troubled by this word of judgment, gone forth upon them because of those who have thus led them out? And it came to be, when he stood before Yaray YHWH, Michael said thus to Raphael, I will not take their part under the eye of Yushua, for Yaray YHWH has been angry with them, because they do as if they were Yushua. Therefore all that is hidden shall come upon them forever and ever, and for neither messenger nor man shall have his portion, but alone they have received their judgment forever and ever. Chapter 69. And after this judgment they shall terrify and make them to tremble, because they have shown this to those who dwell on the earth. And see the names of those messengers, and these are their names. The first of them is Shem Yatza, the second Artakifa, and the third Amen, the fourth Kokavel, the fifth Turael, the sixth Rumyael, and the seventh Daniel, the eighth Nekael, the ninth Barachiel, the 10th Azazel, the 11th Armaros, the 12th Batar Yaal, the 13th Busas Yaal, and the 14th Hananel, the 15th Turel, the 16th Simapesiel, the 17th Yetreel, the 18th Tumael, the 19th Tsuriel, the 20th Ramiel, the 21st Azazel. And these are the chiefs of their messengers, and their names, and their chief ones over hundreds, and over 50s, and over 10s. The name of the first, Yekon, that is, the one who led astray the sons of Elohim, and brought them down to the earth, and led them astray through the daughters of men. And the second was named Azveel. He imparted to the Qodesh sons of Elohim evil counsel, and led them astray so that they defiled their bodies with the daughters of men. And the third was named Gadreel. It is he who showed the children of men all the smitings of death, and he led astray Hawa, and showed the shield, and the coat of mail, and the sword for battle, and all the weapons of death to the children of men. And from his hand they have proceeded against those who dwell on the earth from that day and for eternity. And the fourth was named Penemuel. He taught the children of men the bitter and sweet, and he taught them all the secrets of their wisdom, and he instructed mankind in writing with ink and paper, and thereby many sinned from everlasting to everlasting, and until this day. For men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to their good belief with pen and ink. For men were created exactly like the messengers, to the intent that they should continue pure and righteous, and death, which destroys all matters, could not have taken hold of them, but through this, their knowledge, they are perishing, and through this power it is consuming me. And the fifth was named Qodesh. This is he who showed the children of men all the wicked smiting of spirits and demons, and the smiting of the embryo in the womb. Goodness me. That it may pass away, and the bites of the serpent, and the smiting which befalls through the noontide heat, and the son of the serpent named Tavait. And this is the task of YHWH, the chief of the oath, which he showed to the Qodeshim when he dwelt high in esteem, and its name is Bicha. This one requested Michael to show him the hidden name, that he might pronounce it in the oath, so that those might quake before that name and oath, who revealed all that was in secret to the children of men. And this is the power of this oath, for it is powerful and strong, and he placed the oath Achael in the land of Michael. And these are the secrets of this oath, and they are strong through his oath. And the Shamayim was suspended before the world was created, and forever. And through it the earth was founded upon the water, and from the secret recesses of the mountains come pleasant waters from the creation of the world, and unto forever. And through that oath the sea was created, and as its foundation he appointed for it the sand against the time of anger, and it dare not pass beyond it from the creation of the world unto forever. And through that oath are the depths made firm, and endure, and do not move from their place from everlasting to everlasting. And through that oath the sun and the moon complete their course, and deviate not from their ordinance from everlasting to everlasting. And through that oath the stars complete their course, and he calls them by their names, and they answer him from everlasting to everlasting. And in the same way the spirits of the water, and of the winds, and of the breezes, and paths from all the quarters of the winds, and there are preserved the voices of the thunder, and the light of the lightnings, and there are preserved the chambers of the hail, and the chambers of the hoarfrost, and the chambers of the mist, and the chambers of the rain, and the dew. And all these believe, and give thanks before Yaray YHWH, and praise with all their power, and their food is in every act of thanksgiving. They thank and esteem and exalt the name of Yaray YHWH forever and ever. And this oath is mighty over them, and through it they are preserved, and their paths are preserved, and their course is not destroyed. And there was great joy amongst them, and they barach and esteemed and exalted, because the name of the bane of Adam had been revealed unto them. And he sat on the throne of his esteem, and the sum of judgment was given unto the bane of Adam, and he caused the sinners to pass away, and be destroyed from off the face of the earth, and those who have led the world astray. With chains shall they be bound, and in their assemblage place of destruction shall they be imprisoned, and all their works vanish from the face of the earth. And from here on there shall be none corruptible, for the bane of Adam has appeared, and has seated himself on the throne of his esteem, and all evil shall pass away before his face, and the word of the bane of Adam shall go forth and be strong before Yahuwah of hosts. This is the third parable of Hanok. Chapter 70. And it came to be after this, that his name during his lifetime was raised above the bane of Adam, and to Yahuwah of hosts from among those who dwell on the earth. And he was raised above on the chariots of the Spirit, and his name vanished among them. And from that day I was no longer numbered amongst them. And he placed me between the two winds, between the north and the west, where the messenger took the cords to measure for me the place for the elect and righteous. And there I saw the first fathers and the righteous, who from the beginning dwell in that place. Chapter 71. And it came to be after this, that my spirit was translated, and it ascended into the Shamayim. And I saw the Qodesh sons of Elohim. They were stepping on flames of fire, their garments were white, and their faces shone like snow. And I saw two streams of fire, and the light of that fire shone like jacinth. And I fell on my face before Yahuwah of hosts. And the messenger Michael seized me by my right hand, and lifted me up, and led me forth into the secrets. And he showed me all the secrets of the righteousness, and he showed me all the secrets of the ends of the Shamayim, and all the chambers of all the stars, and all the lights, where they proceed before the face of the Qodeshim. And he translated my spirit into the Shamayim of Shamayim. And I saw there, as it were, a structure built of crystals, and between those crystals tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw the girdle which surrounded that house of fire, and on its four sides were streams full of living fire, and they surrounded that house, and round about were seraphim and cherubim and ophanim, and these are they who do not sleep, but guard the throne of his esteem. And I saw messengers who could not be counted, 1,000 thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000 encircling that house, and Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and Phanuel and the Qodesh messengers who were above the Shamayim go in and out of that house. And they came forth from that house, and Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and Phanuel, and many Qodesh messengers without number, and with them the head of days, his head white and pure as wool, and his garments indescribable. And I fell on my face, and my whole body became relaxed, and my spirit was transfigured, and I cried with a loud voice, with the spirit of power and berekoth, and esteemed and exalted. And these berekoth, which went forth out of my mouth, were well pleasing before that head of days. And that head of days came with Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel, thousands and 10,000s of messengers without number. And he came to me and greeted me with his voice, and said to me, This is the bane of Adam, who is born unto righteousness, and righteousness abides over him, and the righteousness of the head of days does not forsake him. And he said to me, He proclaims unto you peace in the name of the world to come. For from here has proceeded peace since the creation of the world, and so shall it be unto you forever and forever and ever. And all shall walk in his ways, since righteousness never forsakes him. With him will be their dwelling places, and with him their heritage, and they shall not be separated from him forever and ever. And so there shall be length of days with the bane of Adam, and the righteous shall have peace, and an upright way in the name of Yahuwah of hosts, forever and ever. Amen. What an amazing fragment of the Book of Noah. I'm so glad they found these things. Next we'll be reading the chapter on astronomy. Thank you for joining me here. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. And let the wind blow wonderfully in the trees today. Nearly blew my shed roof off, but never mind. That's just a tarp on the roof. All is in the hands of our Father always. Many blessings, Abba, and many blessings to you all. Thank you for joining in fellowship to share the word through Yushua in Yuchid, our Qodesh Elohim. Our daily prescription. Stay yoked, watching the signs of our times and waiting with great hope and expectation. See you soon here or there. Much ahav, Shabbat Shalom.